What up, peeps? I thought I'd make me a quick video. I just left out of the hospital, y'all, so not for me, my dad. Yeah. Dealing with a little sleep apnea. So he'll be coming home tomorrow, so thankfully he's doing a lot better. But I thought I'd make this video because I was just I want to speak about affidavits. I was sitting here thinking about, because I did a video on affidavits, and most of y'all already know what affidavits are. But, for those who who are new to the channel and don't know what an affidavit is, it's basically a sworn oath. It's a testimony reduced to writing, and it's sworn under penalty of perjury and notarized by, a notary or an officer of the peace of some sort. In many cases, like, of course, I would always, anytime I create an affidavit, it would be like keeping like you're doing one in writing. If I create an affidavit, I always have a spot there for two witnesses to sign as well. So if you have two witnesses and a notary, which is they're witnessing your signature, but you got two witnesses and a notary, it to me it adds more punch to your affidavit because based on the what they call it, maxim of law. Say every word should be established by two or more witnesses. That's even a Bible scripture as well. I forgot where that's located, but it's in the Bible. So if you but I was speaking about that only a living man can do an affidavit. Someone who is alive. An entity cannot do an affidavit. Okay, I repeat, an entity cannot do an affidavit. A straw man cannot do an affidavit. State of Georgia, state of Arkansas, they cannot do affidavit. Those are legal fictions. They cannot perform affidavits. For one, that has to be sworn under penalty of perjury. Only a man, a living man or woman can do that. I've been talking about the presumption of death for months lately. Hopefully y'all see where I'm going with this. You ever think about the fact that how you can actually clean your credit up, doing affidavits, confronting these entities, disputing things on your credit report. Notice all these entities that are making claims against I'm gonna use straw man. I'm gonna say your legal person, your straw man, your ens legis, whichever one I use, y'all know what I'm talking about. Your name in all caps. They're making claims against your estate, against your name, based on that presumption as well. There's no presumption that's been rebutted. The presumption of death, that's what I'm talking about. That presumption has not been rebutted. So it's especially when they send you a letter, nobody responds. You receive it in the mail. You don't respond. You send them nothing. Say nothing at all. Before you know it, it's on your credit report. They got to lean against the name. People can make claims against your name when there's nobody alive have come forward to rebut that presumption. So now it's now people can make claims against your estate when you're dead. People have done that from celebrities. Y'all seen that in the past where celebrities have made claims against someone's estate well years after they're dead. And they can lose, because of whatever happened when they were alive. So this presumption still goes on even when you are alive. People can make claims against your estate through your name. And your name is connected to your estate. So affidavits, back to affidavits, and you're using affidavits to rebut that presumption. When someone has, like, you using affidavits in your court cases, you're rebutting presumptions of death as well. Just thinking about those things, man. You know how powerful, and that actually, it brings makes you think about how powerful an affidavit really is, because only living people can do it. Living people can actually create affidavits. Can swear under penalty of perjury to the facts in, stated within that affidavit. Only a living man and woman can do that. And so when you're doing that and you're utilizing that to your advantage, you're, rebutting these presumption of death. Remember I told y'all before, I've actually gotten rid of like traffic tickets. I've gotten rid of like, speeding tickets, whatever. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't want people utilizing stuff like that and just speeding for the hell of it and put people's lives in danger because they want to get out of doing something. They don't want it. Things like that need to be in place for people who choose to, who don't give a damn about being responsible and doing what it takes to keep the whole world, to keep the world safe, keep other people's lives safe. So I don't talk about this stuff, but I've gotten rid of citations before. I used a document before, and it was sworn under penalty of perjury in affidavit form. And I sent it to, sending that document to the county clerk with this citation, get them to do away with it. Because you're rebutting the presumption of death there too. Whether you're doing it privately or in a court case is already, active. At any given time, you can rebut that presumption. And so it kind of makes me think about, the whole time, a lot of time we've been rebutting presumptions and not even realize we've been doing it. Like when I'm talking rebutting presumption, there's many presumptions that they're using in court. But when you're operating with an affidavit, and here you are using an affidavit and you're distinguishing between you and the name that's on their dockets, you're rebutting the presumption of death and you don't even realize it. Because I'm the living man. I'm the living man. I'm not a legal fiction. I used to say that all the time too. But I didn't realize how to do it properly. As a matter of fact, I used to type up documents and didn't realize the proper format of an affidavit. For one, it wasn't, I was naming it an affidavit in the the title part of the document, but for one, it wasn't sworn under penalty of perjury. It wasn't sworn at all. It was just me venting affidavit of this, and I was stating exactly what I wanted to say, and then I'll sign the bottom of it. But it wasn't sworn under penalty of perjury. And in many cases, it wasn't notarized either. So it has to be both. You have to have both of them. If you look up the definition of an affidavit, type in affidavit legal definition, you'll see that it says it has to be sworn. And it has to be notarized. If it's not both of those, it has to be both of them. Otherwise, it's not an affidavit. So you can call something an affidavit all day long. But if it doesn't meet the requirements of an affidavit, it's not an affidavit. So that's what I was doing, and was wondering why they would still railroad me in my court cases, because just that one court case, the child support case that I was fighting years ago. I used to call stuff affidavits, but wasn't an affidavit. So that presumption still was, they were going with that presumption. I don't understand why they're able to do that though. Why are they able to go with a presumption of death if you're standing right there in the courtroom? If I'm standing right here in the courtroom and I say I'm Michael Roseman, why are you able to, what gives the judge, what gives this, that needs to be shut down. I don't understand why they're able to flow with a presumption of death if that living man or woman is standing right there in the courtroom and tell you who they are and you look at them in their eyes. That's what a fraud is right there. They're able to play this game with a man or a woman that's standing right there in the courtroom. I don't get that. I don't get why that's so. But I don't want to get off on a rant. I just thought I'd make this video because I was kind of just bringing it full circle about how we're using affidavits, and a lot of times we're rebutting the presumption of death and not even realizing it. Because only a living man can do an affidavit. A living woman too. Living people can do the affidavits. Only we can do them. Entities can't do it. State of Georgia, state of Washington, state of California, state of Texas. Entities, or any entity, there's no body attachment. whatsoever, those entities have to have a living man that represents them to do to write to do an affidavit on behalf of that entity in order for it to hold any type of weight. Otherwise, and they're not going to do that. None of them are going to ever do that. They're not going to put their own neck on the line for an entity. They're not going to do that. They just work for the entity. They make money for the entity. So last thing they're going to do is put their neck on the line for that entity. You, on the other hand, are able to do that because you're defending your name and you're bringing the truth forward. And you don't have a problem swearing under penalty of perjury to shut something down. So I would just never underestimate the power of an affidavit. That's all I want to say. Hopefully, if you haven't liked and subscribed already, go ahead and feel free to do so. And I'll see y'all in the next video. I got another video I want to post, but I'm kind of indecisive about it. And I've been holding for almost a week now. But if I post it, y'all will know. But anyway, I'm gonna get on off here, y'all. And I gotta get prepared to make some stuff happen with my dad and with my case too. Something I was gonna file this past Friday. I was gonna file it into court. But my dad ended up in the hospital, so I got distracted with that. But I'll do it first thing Monday. Probably in the morning. Cause the hospitals never release nobody early in the morning anyway. So chances are I'll be already, soon as they open up, go ahead and file this thing into the court and come on back home and be prepared for my dad's arrival. So till then, I'll see y'all in the next video. Emeralds signing out.